Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Post-16 Virtual Open Evening for Tuxford Academy. Obviously, this is a slightly different way of doing things this year, but hopefully we can share with you the information that you'll need for the BTEC Extended Certificate in Sport. And if you have any questions, I'll guide you in the right direction at the end of the presentation. Okay. So, in terms of the BTEC Sport course at Tuxford, it is the extended certificate. If you are looking at colleges or other areas of education, you may see that they deliver the extended diploma, the diploma. These all carry various weightings. The extended certificate that we offer is the equivalent to one A-level and is done over the 2 years. So, in terms of the course we are offering, it was taught in 2016, so it's relatively new in that respect. Prior to 2016, there was another BTEC course in place which was not as rigorous as the course that we're offering, so there were no exams in that course, and I'll talk a little bit about the assessment processes later on for the course we're running at Tuxford. As I've already said, it's a 2-year course. The assessments are conducted throughout, so it's not like some other A-level courses or some other level 3 courses where you will do 2 years and all your assessments are completed at the end of year 13. In this course, the assessments are towards the end of year 12. There's some partway through year 13, so it vary in that respect. A lot of people ask why BTEC, and there is still in some quarters a bit of a stigma attached to the BTEC when it's compared to the GCSEs or A-levels. However, the BTEC course is a fantastic way of learning and improving your knowledge and understanding in a different way. It's not all designed around exams like many A-level courses are. It's not all designed around academics, which many A-level courses are. There are a lot more opportunities in the BTEC course to develop key skills. So some things that we think are a massive benefit of the BTEC is the employability skills. You cover a number of units that give you the opportunity to develop communication, to develop listening skills, to cooperate with others, to work as part of a team, to hone your interpersonal skills, and a lot of other courses don't give you that opportunity. So we think the employability skills of the BTEC course are a massive standout really in that respect. 95% of universities in the UK now accept BTEC qualifications as part of their entrance criteria. That's not always been the case, but with the more rigour associated with the BTEC course, the universities have recognised that, and it is now in line with the A-levels that you might be studying elsewhere at Tuxford in post-16. They also have the highest rate of learner progression. So what that means is that when students are joining us at year 12, we can hopefully see students make more progress because of the structure of the course, because of the delivery, because of the nature of how the course is set up as opposed to some of the A-levels. And what we think is quite important is it gives real life scenarios. I'll talk about a unit of work later on, which actually is fantastic because it gives you such a direct insight into what you will have to do at some point in your life with regards to that. So yeah, it's a really positive course in that respect. That's just some specific information about the course. As I've already said, it's the extended certificate. If you're looking elsewhere, you may see that that's the diploma, the extended diploma, but in our case, it's the extended certificate. It's 360 guided learning hours. Now, that is what you will be exposed to in school. They are the teaching hours you will have, alongside the work we expect you to do at home. So we are guiding you to do study at home. We are guiding you with set tasks for homework. Okay, so those 360 hours include lesson time, but also include producing assignments at home, revising for your exams at home. So it takes a little bit of independence. Okay, those of you that have done the level 2 course at Tuxford with myself and Mrs. Crashley or elsewhere, you will be aware of that. The BTEC course does require a little bit more independence than perhaps some of the GCSE and A-level courses. But again, that's a positive because it gives you that opportunity to develop. There are 4 units on this course. It's the equivalent to 1 A-level. And in terms of pathways, as I've already said, you can move on to university, apprenticeships. We've had students go on. We've got an ex-student at the minute who's managing the Retford Leisure Centre, okay, and has worked her way up there to a senior position, has done fantastically well. And her probably love of that area came through studying GCSE PE at Tuxford, but then she went on to do BTEC level 3 and did fantastically well on that. So it does show you that there are various opportunities out there. In terms of the actual units that we deliver, okay, we have the mandatory units. So you have to do these units. That is, you know, it's something we can't escape. They are called anatomy and physiology. So how the body works, bones, muscles, the respiratory system, the cardiovascular system. You've probably been exposed to this sort of content in biology. You may have done it at GCSE PE, in your other courses at GCSE level, and that is assessed via a 90-minute exam. Okay. The second mandatory unit is the fitness training and programming unit. Now, again, you will have definitely covered content on this if you've done GCSE PE and BTEC sport. So it's training methods, it's components of fitness. We also look at lifestyle factors, so positive and negative, such as smoking, alcohol, diet, physical activity, and how that can shape someone's health and well-being. And again, this is assessed via an exam, but it's actually a 2-hour, 30-minute exam. It's quite a long exam. However, in this exam, you are able to take 4 sides of A4 notes in with you to give you a support mechanism during that exam. So actually, it's a different way of learning. It's a different way of being assessed, but it's something that we've had relatively good levels of success within this course. I think it's important to recognise at this stage as well that if you do sit the exam and you don't secure a grade that you think is something you were capable of, so you think, actually, I could get a distinction or I could get a merit and I've only got a pass, you can resit this exam. So you have one opportunity to resit it. And that's very much like the BTEC level 2 course that some of you, hopefully, who are listening, have already done and are going to be moving on to join us at level 3. So that's something to consider as well. It does give you that little bit of room to make mistakes and then actually think, yeah, maybe do a resit just to get that better grade. The optional units, but we do these at Tuxford. They are the optional units that we have decided that we will deliver with you guys. A couple of reasons for that. 1, it gives us a little bit of practical to the course. 2, it links fantastically well to what you guys will be going on to do in 2, 3, 4 years' time. And 3, it is a very contrasting pair of units to what you've just been hearing about with the Unit 1 and Unit 2 and the exam-based units. So, professional development in the sports industry. All the assessments are done via assignments. This particular unit covers how to write a CV, how to apply for a job, what some of the jobs who are linked to sport might be looking for, some of the skills you might require. In this instance, we think this is probably one of the best units you could perhaps encounter whilst at Tuxford, because it is something that gives you the skills you will require to hopefully secure a job in the future. Alongside that, we offer sports leadership, which again, some of you will have done on the level 2 BTEC course. And it is about making that step up now and showing how strong a leader you actually are, but can you actually demonstrate the various leadership skills and qualities that leaders would use. And it links a little bit to number 3 in that respect, because you are developing skills in Unit 4 that you can then talk about in Unit 3. And again, all the assessments are done via assignments. In terms of the grading of your assessments, as some of you will be aware, and some of you perhaps not, if you haven't done a BTEC course at level 2, we are assessing these in pass, merit, distinction criteria. Your final grade for the whole course is then calculated based on each of the units you've completed. So, for example, if a student was to achieve a distinction in both exams and both pieces of coursework, they would achieve a distinction star overall. A distinction star can only be achieved if you get a distinction in both exams. However, a distinction overall could be achieved if you achieve one distinction across both exams. Okay, each unit or each grade has a certain set of numbers associated with it, and we have to reach a boundary to move into the next grade. Okay, for those of you that do end up joining us on this course, we will talk about that in more detail when we have the induction days in July, June or July, before you start in year 12. All right, but it's really simplistic. It is quite difficult to try and express that over the presentation. But if you've got any questions on that, please don't hesitate to ask moving forward. The entry requirements, as you've probably seen for all your subjects, we expect 5 GCSEs or the equivalent of at 9 to 4, including a grade 4 or higher in English, maths and science. Okay, and at least a level 2 pass grade in any BTEC sport course you've done or any Cambridge national qualifications you may have done elsewhere. Unlike the A-level PE that some of you may have watched already, you do not need to have a practical sport. We are not assessing anyone or their performance in a sporting context. So it doesn't matter to me or to the PE team at Tuxford if you are an elite athlete who's representing the country, or if you're someone who likes to get on their bike at the weekend and just go for a 10-mile bike ride. Okay, there is no assessment on how good a sportsman or woman you are. So please do not worry yourselves about that. Okay, and that just leaves me to say thank you for listening. I appreciate it's a very different way of hearing things for an open evening. Some of you will have information about the BTEC course already through the lessons you've been involved in this year at Tuxford and hopefully elsewhere. Some of you might need a little bit more information on that. So if you do, please do not hesitate to email us. You can see that my email address is on the screen, as is Mrs. Crashley's, who's also been teaching the BTEC with me this year. Alternatively, drop us a call on 01777 87 0001, extension 525. Or if you've got anything that you think you'd like answering as quick as possible, you can get us on Twitter at TuxfordPE, and we'll get straight back to you. Okay, we appreciate you listening to this presentation tonight. Thank you for considering BTEC Sport as one of your future pathways, and please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you for listening.